Alrighty then. Select the right scenes and shit. There we go. So, hello. Hello. I'm going to play a game called Dissolving. A little free-to-play visual novel, as far as I know. Not seen anything about it before, so let's get into it, I guess. Be unmuted. Really cool stuff. Anyway, let's go. Still visit my ex-boyfriend. He used to be a total bore. He was cute and good-hearted, always ready to put off his plans to help his friends. Always willing to advise. He used to speak passionately about programming. But before long, this good guy had to go. Sure, the mic's on. There was only a ball left sitting in front of a screen. He didn't finish his fourth university year, and soon he left his job in the office. His online work lasted a bit longer, but in the end, he abandoned that as well. Sounds like me. He dwells in a decrepit flat in a bad neighborhood, a generous gift from his parents. They're quite rich, so I guess it's not a problem. That's how he lives. Alone. No job, no friends, no interests. Only endless arguments with people on the net. Ah, so he's a Twitter user. Well, I'm not really sure if they're even people or not. How else can anyone be stuck there for that long? It's possible he's been desperately arguing with bots, algorithms simulating neural networks. All in all, I felt a kind of responsibility for his situation. Some time ago, I decided to be close to him. Funny, I don't hold on to the past, but to my decisions. Last time I was there, he was staring at his screen. Even more languid, pale and thin than usual. Sometimes it seems like his outline was starting to blur, just like a ghost. A rough sketch on the fabric of reality. He was unusually nice when having a free moment from his screen. He even gave me an envelope containing cash for my birthday, which was last month. The sum was quite significant. The best explanation from him was a shrug of his shoulders. No. Shame. Nothing. Just found my thing. It's been over a month since then. Here visiting him again. The same elevator, still out of service. The same stairs. The same music in my headphones. Dim and deep, yet beautiful doom metal. A great fit for this old hole. He replied okay to my message about visiting. Pressed the doorbell. Takes some strength, but the bell hasn't been used for some time. Nothing. He's not home. Oh, is this the character talking? I hope so. Weird. Can't imagine him being outside. Is that him? Again? Coming over in 2 hours. Yeah, come in. Doors open. Wait in the living room. Busy at the moment. What? Didn't forget how to walk, did he? There was a certain SP episode. Don't know what that means. Suddenly, I'm not keen. I'm inside. I pull the handle. The door opens. heavily, creaking. All isn't lit. Doors in the living room and kitchen are open. I can see in the dark that his bedroom door, wooden, with no glass parts, is shut tight. I hit the switch. I was afraid his power had been cut, but the light comes on, revealing the floor covered in dust balls. Silly me. He lives online. Of course he pays for the electricity. Take off my shoes and enter the living room. Silence. There's no light coming from under his bedroom door. Instinctively, I reach for the switch and hit it. Fixture flickers as the lights come on. Seems I still remember where things are here. Mess that up. The dust is more noticeable under the light. I'm glad he doesn't have any plants. They would have withered a long time ago. Wait, I don't recall this lock on the door. It's easily seen under this light. Looks like the newest thing in here. Couldn't have entered, even if I wanted to. Somehow, not too crazy about this. Sorry, not going outside. Let's talk like this. Great. Just great. I saw a situation like this in a movie. It didn't end well. Fine, I'll reply. Hope you're coming out. You won't like how I look. Don't want to frighten you. Excuse me. Really? Because you already failed. What's wrong? Is there something I shouldn't see? Haven't showered or had a haircut for some time. My lifestyle's had an impact on my body. Flesh is weak. XD. Can't decide if I want to run or argue. I told him the solitude would drive him mad. His messages seem to have been stolen from poorly written songs. Wait, he never listened to music. Stop. Why don't you talk normally? Can't you move your tongue? Okay. I'm glad you came. I left you a gift as thanks. The white envelope on the drawer. Please take it. There's a gift and a note. I took a look at the drawer by the wall. Wherever that is on screen. Envelope is there. The only thing not covered is dust. Is it money again? I don't like this. Should I just go? No. I want to know what's going on. Maybe there's someone else in his room. Or no one at all. It's not grounds to call the police yet. I read that start of it. But he's been so strange these last few years. He could have easily gone mad. He could be dangerous. No. Can't leave. Can't abandon him like this. But I'll grab a knife just in case. Try to coax him out of his room. Quietly entered the kitchen, typing a message. He didn't answer my question. Why are you being like this? His reply comes as I pick up a knife. Even the kitchen looks abandoned. I haven't spoken to anyone for a long time. I feel uneasy. There's no going back now. I have the knife behind my back. Okay, let's do it this way. If you come out, I'll take the envelope. Seems fair. Oh. Deal, take the envelope first. If you do, I'll come out. Never mind, that was the wrong door. I don't want to take it. When he comes out, you'll see the envelope still there. I could hide it somewhere, but that's risky. Gosh, just take the stupid envelope. It's just cash, that's all. Put the envelope in my bag, holding the knife in my other hand. Not very convenient. I have it. Fine, but don't say I didn't warn you. Well, surprise me. Oh. What's it gonna be? Do I have to click? That was a long wait. It actually got me. I step back. The knife falls out of my hand. I hear a mechanical voice. Told you wouldn't like it. Started to back away. He stands there in the doorway. The longer I look, the more blurred his outline is, and the clearer his mouth and eyes are. I turn and run. I leave the apartment. I glance back. I only see his mouth and a pair of eyes. That was spooky. I don't remember returning home. I must have immediately fallen asleep. That's how my body manages to stress. Nope, that's how my body manages stress. Let's read that properly. In dreams full of anxiety, I saw eyes and a mouth without a body. It was probably too much for me, because I don't usually dream. It's been a day since I visited my ex, or the thing in his apartment. What was it? Prank? Somebody put on a silly mask with a lighting trick? Was I hallucinating? Or, damn, I don't know how to approach this, or what to do. I don't know how to carry on. When such things happen, I want to huddle up in a corner. This is why I tend to act impulsively, just to avoid anxiety. Perhaps my future actions will be just as impulsive. I used to believe that it's better to know. In these situations, it's best to start with a conversation. What happened yesterday? The answer came immediately. Glad you texted me. Have you opened the envelope? What a douchebag. Don't change the subject. I don't know what to say. Think harder then. Okay, what happened to your body? Do it again. Why is he taking so long? This is the side effect of the ascension. What the hell are you talking about? What ascension? Where? I've been in a ton of arguments online. I met someone there. We started a mutual profitable partnership. I provided them with food, and in return, they helped me transform and solve some issues. They will probably reach out to you soon. They enjoyed our chat. Oh. Well then. What do you mean? What the hell? I want to show my gratitude. No, I wanted to show my gratitude. You didn't leave me. You can read, I promise. Thankful for my parents too. Probably didn't care. Family was still giving me money, support. And when they found me, my financial issues were solved. Envelope is the smallest thing I could do for you. I wish you a good ascension as well. Believe in the net. What the fudge? You're not leaving, are you? There was no reply. Talking to you. There was no reply. A couple of weeks have passed. Hello? What? How? I see. So the funeral is Saturday, right? I will come. Goodbye. Didn't say sorry to anyone. His mother's voice was so stoic, I was afraid even a formal condolence would be inappropriate. It didn't seem like it came as a surprise to her. I know how she feels. Even that prank, or whatever it was, is now easier to understand. Okay, never mind. I know how she feels. Even that prank, or whatever it was, is now easier to understand. He wanted to have some fun at the end. He decided long ago that there was nothing to lose. Left a death note and found a place to die. Just like a cat. Of course, there's a chance he ran away. Faded body, found in the dump near his house was not him. But to him, suicide was his escape. He lost the ability to be around other people. Unless it's somehow related to that dull job he was referencing ever so vaguely. Perhaps I need to pay my respects and see what he put in the farewell envelope. In all honesty, I put it away because it was a reminder of that creepy scene. In my mind, the story with my ex is over. I can, no heavy emotion troubling me, delve into the mystery. That sense of completion enables me to detach. I think I read that correct. Perhaps there'll even be some nostalgia. Take the envelope from the drawer. The glued paper is easy to open, as if it's been waiting for me. Some fresh 500 euro notes and that's euro, right? I think so. And a piece of white paper. Last time it was only money. A considerable smaller sum than that, at that. I turned the paper over. There's some text on the back, and below it a SIM card. Of course, this doesn't bode well. But what's the worst that can happen? Conveniently, I have a free slot for a SIM card. Almost said SD card. It's okay if something bad happens to my phone. I was going to get a new one anyway. Well, c'est la vie. I removed the SIM card from the paper and put it in my phone. The provider is displaying it as eFoodNet. eFoodNet. I like food. Could be some sort of viral marketing. Was it them he worked for? I tried 100. Dialed. Weird, nothing bad so far. Whatever then. Put the phone and money away. I go on my PC to scroll through my Twitter feed and find materials for work. Well, mostly to check Twitter. Oh, nice. Suddenly, I received an instant message from my ex. Glad you opened the envelope with the SIM card. The process will be much quicker. What? It's not funny. The SIM card must have triggered his final prank. A message from a dead ex-boyfriend. Sick joke. Some make for a great tweet, although I usually avoid writing about my personal life. Nevertheless, the world needs to see this masterpiece. Just got a message from my dead ex-boyfriend. A sick joke. Wasn't wrong. The tweet soon went viral. I forgot what kinds of people reply to tweets. That joke is stolen. Come and see, such an attention whore. Fix where it didn't happen. What? Ah, cool. Thank you, Zimmertrex, for following. Good stuff. What? Another geek girl. You're not impressing anyone, my dear. Try harder. Damn. You're so fucking dumb. You must be you must be a femme. Nice stories about a dead ex. I don't know what femme means. Feminist? Fuck knows. We live in a society. Yep. It's nothing new, but somehow this got to me. Especially Mouthful of Dark's tweet, which drove me up the wall. What alternative logic led you to believe I'm a femme? I'm gonna assume that it's feminist. I don't really know. Who else would joke about men dying? He must have gone complete bonkers. Guess. Several hours passed, and I barely noticed. As it always goes. New people were joining the argument. New misconceptions, new misrepresentations, there we go, new white knights and trolls. I know it was a stupid waste of time, but it really was hard to stop. Another opponent will bite the dust under celebrity cheers. Another opponent will bite the dust under the celebratory cheers of the crowd. Huh. This is how Gladiators felt too? Not sure about Gladiators, but this must be what my ex felt. It's spooky. People argue with strangers to get the slightest semblance of feeling. Join us, one of us. Writing terrible insults to get the smallest reaction. The validation of their achievements. I don't like the idea of becoming that. On the other hand, you only need to take it into moderation. Line communication. Whatever anyone says can help you offline. I think I read that correctly. You can learn good lessons. And it's also interesting to compare people online and in real life. Then that has one's essence, I would say. All that remains is text, devoid of intonation. Is that what that says? Text-only representation of thoughts and feelings. That's what I find interesting about it. But still, stop. What is this? Bloody hell. Step away from the screen and unplug the PC. What the devil? That's when I catch a glimpse of my reflection. I scream. Oh shit. She's been infected. Or I guess ascended. I think that's what that means. I run to the phone and take out the SIM. Throw it on the floor and crush it. I put the remnants with some paper in a cup and set it on fire. It smells terrible. It smells terrible, but I don't care. There are only ashes left. I throw them in the trash duct. I get rid of my PC along with all its data. I'll start collecting work materials from scratch. On a new PC. I wanted to throw the money away, but I'd rather donate it to the church. The next day, my reflection was back to normal. A day completely offline. After a few months, I think I'm ready to return to Twitter. Oh boy. I even created a new account. My Endless Song 0. Edgy. For everything that happened, I know this is silly, but I miss talking to my mutuals. I miss having a place to share my thoughts and get feedback. In the end, I forced myself to go to the funeral. A sight as pitiful as his last years. Excuse me. Not sure if I'm going to visit my ex's grave. Ooh, I got an achievement from that. You didn't click the monitor. Oh. So I imagine if I had clicked the monitor, what would I have died to? Is that what I'm getting from this? Whales fly through the cage of time. Do they? End of the first scenario. Wonder how many there are. Oh. Well then. I guess that's that. What's this do? No one knows. I didn't really save, so... Huh. Oh, didn't mean to exit there. Whoops. That was kind of cool. It's cool, not gonna lie. Play through it again. Just to get the other click on the screen. Yeah, I'll just breeze through it. Skip. And stop. I'll just furiously click. This is the dude. Go, 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 go. There's no me, I'll skip over it, and that's no good. Think harder. Ascension. Couple of weeks. What? How? Blah 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 blah. Funeral. Din. Ah. Nope. This is the bit. Click. Clicking down on it. I wonder if, oh! I just skipped through all of it, didn't I? That's what happened. I scream. And if I dig the sim, throw it on the floor and crush it. It's terrible. Rid of the PC. Do I have to wait then for it to like be fully base? Because I was just kind of, yeah. Will this take me? So where do I click? Do I have to? I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. You create on the net. I've missed a bunch of this. Out of nothing. Oh no, Russian. Can't play this game in Russian. Going into the void. Abandon your mortal body. Live entirely on the net. What do I... It's got an achievement that said you didn't click the monitor. So... should I just wait, or do I have to click something? Leave it to rot. See, potentially. Cool. Fucking jump out of that monitor, I'm gonna scream like a little girl. Okay. We are not evil. I don't believe that for a second. Oh, just different. That's what they all say. Join us. Clicked it. Sleep fruit. See excrement? I'm gonna let it keep talking. I'll see what that does if it keeps talking. Do it. Jump out of my screen. That's what it feels gonna happen. Or it might not, and it might just keep talking. Because I think the screen itself is done. That's as face as it's gonna get, you know what I mean? But it keeps talking to me. So, I don't know if sweet, spicy, better things. Chicken? Right on the net. Uh-huh. I think now it's just repeating itself. Wah. Uh-huh. There you go. I got the same donor club. Let's return to Twitter. Create a new account. Huh? Wells to fly through the cage of time. Okay. That's the same ending. Unless it was like a monitor. You didn't click on the monitor. Hang on. Hang on. I'm gonna look at these achievements. See what they say. That's a shame. You didn't click on the monitor. Ha ha ha. Which monitor though, because there's the main one, there's the other one. There's like the one that's in front of you that turns into a face, and there's the one, like it's the same computer, but it's of the room view. Hang on. I'ma get to the bottom of this mystery. One part of the game is hidden out of it, but the first scenario has a hint on how to find it. What? The parts of the story can be read in an hour. I did it in half an hour. That's because I'm a fast reader. There's nothing there. Don't be stupid. Alright, I'm gonna go through this again, and I'm gonna click on every monitor. It doesn't specify which monitor I didn't click on, so let's do this. Ding dong. Anybody home? Maybe it's this one. Yeah. Oh. I guess not. There's nothing. Let's turn the light on, I guess. Da 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 da. Wait for the electricity. Let's pull into the light. Click. Click. I don't think I can interact with this screen at all, really. Where? Ooh. Wake up. No. It doesn't change anything when I click on that. Nope. I guess just keep going. Going. Keep going. Oh, that's the living room. I thought the red door was open before, but it's just the kitchen. Come out. Oh, it scares me. Peekaboo. Ah! I clicked it. Ooh. Is this... Yeah, I gotta resize. There we go. What is this? I was always into things that are different. Not exactly weird, but different. Outside of common understanding, outside of the norm, this yearning led me through my life. If what's happening to me now can even be called life, it's getting loud. Because of my interests, I became an anthropologist. Because of it, I found my wife. Oh, because of it, I found my wife. And it stayed with me, even after things fell apart. Everything was fine at first. I studied culture and psychology. Let's try that again. I studied culture and psychology of certain people from medieval times. The subjects I chose were so specific that very few people had investigated them. Yet they were peculiar enough to gain attention. I was rather good at presenting myself and my research, so funding wasn't a problem. I gave lectures at the university and some popular science events, and worked part-time at a private school. I soon found myself having a lot of contacts in university circles and among young intellectuals. I married an avid artist specializing in book illustrations who was into goth metal, avant-garde, and not committing to anything or anyone. When she was in the mood, she even joined my ventures into the depths of belief of people long gone. Even started thinking of a career in writing. But can't be that good, right? I wasn't even going anywhere in particular. That's fine. Just a car accident. When I was driving back... Just a car accident when I was driving back from the grocery store. From a grocery store. The road was too slippery, I guess. Luckily, my wife was at home, and nobody got hurt. Except for me. My body was paralyzed almost entirely. I couldn't move, only my left hand and my head. I'm not gonna make a joke there. It was a nightmare. I couldn't live the way I used to. The simple act of going from one place to another became more difficult. What's worse? What? My wife refused to let me go, and was taking care of me. I found it cute, considering her usual traits, but I was frustrated to see her wasting her life because of me. I stopped visiting friends and parties, and almost stopped giving lectures. Even doing my research became difficult. Excuse me. I was thinking about ending it all, but my family was rather religious, so I couldn't. I just couldn't. Maybe it's a mere excuse for my cowardice. Either way, I needed something to occupy my time, to distract me. My wife hid all of the alcohol, never mind the drugs. I tried reading books and watching movies, but it wasn't enough. The thoughts were still here, haunting me, always there, whispering in my ear. I pressed on, though. What else could I do? I'ma just turn that down a bit. Can't remember its name now, but back then, I was in awe. Ooh. Went to the OMDB to find some info on it, and I found out the movie was universally hated. All this books and stuff. Okay, now I'm gonna do that next time. If I have to. I checked the reviews to see what people disliked. Started looking through them. One sec. Let's leave that there real quick. Nope. Ah. Shit. That's probably why. Different window, different settings. There we go. Hopefully that's a bit better. It's cool. It's cool music, don't get me wrong, but still. Oh, nothing new. What did I miss? I checked the reviews to see what people disliked. Started looking through them. False expectations, misunderstandings, ignorance, presenting subjective opinions as objective truths. Nothing new. But one review really got to me. The person wasn't just ignorant, they were aggressively ignorant and spiteful. I was so outraged that I went ahead and wrote a comment in an expressive manner, explaining why they were wrong. I was only able to type with one hand, but it actually helped. I had more time to think about what I was writing. They replied quickly. Obviously, they didn't want to argue. Not to agree, even. They wanted to argue. I spent the next several hours arguing online, and it was great. There was nothing in my world aside from me, my argument, and my opponents. One or two people who also commented on this review, and apparently were subscribed to comments, joined in. I was finally passionate about something, and no longer wanted to die. That's a mood. Finding something to get into. No. Of course, it meant that I was arguing with strangers online, an act that I would have deemed pathetic not too long ago. But I didn't have much choice anymore. The next day, I created several throwaway accounts, set up a VPN, and dived into this restless world. Jeez, it was fun. Since the people who participate in such things are quite peculiar, sometimes I got almost scientifically interested in their reasoning, and possibly diagnosing their mental illness. There were people like me too, restless, almost always online. I met some of them in different places around the net. Eventually, I formed some vague semblance of friendship with some of them. And one day, the music stopped. And one day, way after midnight, one of them made me an offer. Oh, it's the dude. You'd be interested in leaving your mortal body and transcending onto the net, not into. It sounded like some cult nonsense, but sure, I'll bite. My pride was long gone and I was curious. I wanted to know more, and it definitely felt like cultist rambling. Some mighty interdimensional beings exist in our world, but only in digital form. It's like they're projections of themselves into our world from theirs, or shadows, or distorted copies. They feed on human emotions. These beings want to consume strong feelings poured into the net. So the cultist people who were digitized by these creatures help them find newcomers, people who pour a lot of emotions into the internet. In exchange for producing food for them 24/7, they gain immortality and the power to control many things on the net. However, the elusive homeworld of these beings is still out of reach, even for their followers. Not even a glimpse for humans. It sounded like nonsense, but for some reason, I was ready to believe it. This story reminded me of an incident that occurred when I worked at a private school. I was going back from work. The girl who worked there as a teacher was sitting on the stairs, seemingly distressed. She was mumbling something about digital people trying to ruin her, and so on. When I asked what happened, she said she was fired because of her ex joining some sort of cult. I thought she was high or something. She looked like someone who would do that at work. Okay, bubble hair, torn jeans, you know. So I said something encouraging and walked away. She didn't care. But when I heard about the cult, things started to make sense. At least I understood how far it reached. When I asked, "So what do I need to do?" the answer was quite peculiar. You need to get rid of your multiple bodies. Damn. Send you a SIM card to speed up the process. Receives data from the stations controlled by us. And this type of data makes the transition faster. The mortal body will partly dissolve during the process. When the ascension is complete, your trophied corpse will remain in this world. I think that's how you pronounce that. Huh. One sec. Okay. There's no music anymore. That's scary. I was hesitant to believe that. Curious in remembering that story with my colleague sure made it worse. Sure made it more intriguing. I was willing to check it out. Okay, I'm in. You can deliver the SIM card to my house discreetly. I'll arrange something, just give me your address and date. Provided my address and set the delivery for a week later. I'm still ashamed I shared such information so easily. I was consenting to anything that could happen, but I forgot that my wife lives here too. I could just barge in and bad things could happen. I'm not. Panicked at first, trying to edit or delete the message, but I forgot that things don't disappear from the net so easily. There was no edit button, and deleting the message would erase it from my history, but not theirs. It was the first time I truly panicked since the accident. Strangely enough, my limited ability to move or act hastily helped me to calm down rather easily. I thought my limitations would fuel the panic, but no. Maybe I was getting used to it. I persuaded a friend of mine in another country to call my wife away to some kind of important art event for a few weeks. He was a pretty big deal in the art world. It's difficult, but I managed to persuade her to leave me here. I had to agree to have a caretaker though. She insisted that the caretaker should be a man too. I like to think she was still jealous, which is cute, considering my circumstances. Excuse me. The caretaker was rather nice. It looked like he could fight in a possible home invasion, or at least I hoped he could. My wife packed her things and left. Nothing peculiar happened until the package arrived at the promised time. I told the caretaker that I ordered some stuff from my phone. He didn't ask any questions. When he left the room, I unpacked it. Strangely enough, it was packed in a way that would be easy for me to open. I didn't tell them anything about my condition. In the small box was an envelope. And the sign on it read, "Believe in the net." Huge. I installed the SIM card in my phone. They promised the ascension will pass without any struggle for you. I don't know what they meant or what I expected. It was strange. Mobile network now said eFoodNet, but at first nothing changed. Even when my body started to dissolve, I felt nothing, both physically and mentally. I mean, of course I freaked out at first, seeing lines of my body blurring. But I soon found myself worrying more about how I'd hide it from the caretaker, that I hide in my room, making a depressive episode. Should I give him sleeping pills? Ask those guys to lure him away, making an accident to someone in his family? I decided to task those cultists with luring him away, and I calmed down completely. Yeah. The fact that I was so indifferent actually bothered me. It was the out of the ordinary experience I always dreamt of. Yet, till this day I wondered. Maybe I died in that car crash. Maybe everything after that was just a fever dream, or an endless vision of the afterlife. Maybe you, to whom I tell these stories, don't even exist. Alien simulation. I guess I'll never know. They got the caretaker to leave due to some family circumstances. Honestly, I didn't want to know what they arranged. 2 days my body changed drastically and my vision became blurry, like a dark fog appearing before my eyes. It got thicker and thicker, and eventually it covered my eyes entirely. The last thing I saw was the computer screen through the fog. Ooh. A beautiful farewell to the mortal world. Some feet. That new world was not what I was expecting. Retained my consciousness, memories, and personality seemingly without any changes. Thought I was data now. I could only perceive other data and traverse from server to server. That's kinda cool. In all honesty, that's pretty cool. I had the ability to control anything on the internet. At first, I was in awe. Everything they told me was true. I declined my weak, almost non-functional human body and became something more powerful. Ascended to the new realm where powerful beings dwell, among the undying flow of information. I could perceive data faster than any human, manually free, able to travel as fast as electricity. And a whole new world full of strange and unusual things for me to investigate. What is that? The beings akin to gods lurking somewhere in the endless ocean of data. Sometimes I felt them passing by the same service as me. Strong, weary presence. To this day, I don't know how I could feel my presence in the digital world. I was just a bunch of numbers. Yeah, I could. Maybe it's because of my soul. Maybe a soul can be digitized too. Maybe it's the immortality of the soul, were promised by ancient prophet. Data can be deleted. Does that mean that both souls, gods can be destroyed? Does that mean that both gods and souls can be destroyed then? Actually, feeling presence wasn't the only proof of my soul being there, being here, that I got on my first day of life. Soon after a bit of getting used to this world, I started stalking my wife. This dude's messed up. All those powers, all those mysteries, I was just following her life. Reading all her messages and posts, watching all the cameras that spied her. On her laptop, on her phone, in the street, on the street. In cafes and dressing rooms and bathrooms. Yeah, those places have more cameras than you'd think. Things I learned. I didn't like them. I tried to see that poor guy, the caretaker, but to no avail. My body was obviously exhausted. I'd been really skinny for the past month because of medication and stress. Police didn't find anything suspicious about my death. Some person who should have died a long time ago and finally left this world. I even read such messages in her history. I certainly couldn't argue with read. I watched her go through all the stages. Watched her ditch work and social relations, trying to commit suicide and spending most of her remaining money on therapists and medication. Trying to get back to work, but mostly failing. Tried to stay away, to not get involved. It wasn't my world anymore. At some point, the growing howling mass inside my soul became so big that I had to act. I added several sizable sums to her account, making amassed as compensation for troublesome projects I remember, and sent the word sorry from a newly created throwaway account. After that, I decided to leave all of it behind and try to live a life. I started my search for the gods. Jesus. I wanted to understand at least some small part of them. To know why they evoke such deep feelings in me, such awe and fear at the same time. Why are they so powerful? Why did they share their power with me? Is it only to give them or is it something more? I started by asking around. Most people here were busy with the same stuff they did online while they were still alive. Consuming media, arguing about it, spying on the lives of others, arguing. Stuff like that, for the most part. Then I saw something that I couldn't understand at first. I saw one person's data dissolving, being erased, along with many others on the server. Most of them in the same part of the server as the dissolving data. Found a person idling in another part of the server. I asked them, what's happening? They're devouring them. Happens more and more frequently now. What does that mean? They collectively devour data of people that did something against the cult. Like merging their data together. Usually, they send the remains to a remote server and format it afterwards. Rather long procedure, to be honest, probably takes so long because it's not a power they could extract from the source, unlike controlling the net. Huh? You're new here, huh? Everything we have is because of some guy who managed to find those beings on the internet, copy their code, and partly reverse engineer it. He digitized himself with this new power and started inviting other people to join him. Wait a minute. So you're saying those interdimensional beings have no part in the ascension? Pretty much. They just exist here and wander the lands. These lands. Was I told about giving them food? Oh, the guy found out that they grow on servers where people argue emotionally. Ah, I like that. They tend to gravitate to such places. I don't know, though, how we went from that to this cult. Hang on. I don't know, though, how we went from that to this cult thing we have now. They don't ask for anything, just don't communicate with us at all, or interact in any other way. Oh, that's disappointing. How do you know so much, anyway? Dunno. I've been here for a long time, possibly over 20 years. Jeez. Some parts of my memory are corrupted or formatted. And you could be the source guy. I could, yes. But I'm more interested in other facts about me. What could be more interesting than discovering you created this new society? It's like parts of my memory were deleted by me. It's possible? Yes. You can alter your own code. It's easy. Thought of that. ... You're considering deleting your memories? Yes. And could you answer me one question? Sure. What makes you want to delete your memories? I was short-sighted. My egotism led to the suffering of a person dear to me. I could have stopped it, but I went all the way. I want to forget what I've done, and all the happy memories I made with it. Happiness of the past has become nothing but pain. I see. Guilt. Quite understandable. We remained there, watching the data being consumed for a while longer. For some time, the person asked, "So, will you do it?" "Do what?" "Delete your memory." "Probably not." "Why?" "Remembering is punishment for me." "I see. Don't be so hard on yourself." I didn't answer. "Thanks for speaking with me. It was rather enlightening." "No problem. You helped me too. Glad to know. Maybe we'll meet again." "See you." Finally left the server. Wait a minute. Isn't this Thingy Bob's room? It was an important moment for me. Clung to the idea of understanding those creatures. I believed in everything those guys said to me since I became a digital being and saw gods. I should stick to my own research, as it was during my career, but things didn't work out. I managed to copy and paste parts of their code. I got that far. However, I couldn't do anything with it. I didn't even know how to approach it, where to start. It was gibberish to me. I tried inserting their code into my own, to no avail. Nothing. It had changed who I am. I was now useless at investigating anything, even though that earned me some fame in the human world. That feeling of desperation would eventually lead me to my self-destruction. One day I followed one of the gods. At some point I realized the server was empty. It was only that being and myself. I did suddenly cross my mind. Probably would have been grinning if I still had a mouth. I set a timer to disconnect the server from the internet, format it, then reconnect. I left the server just before the timer went off. With the being still there. Come on, I can read. Hope so anyway. When I came back, the server was empty. I left just before the timer, but still sensed the gods somewhere in the central part of the server. They couldn't leave, as far as I knew. Which could mean only one thing. I killed a god. Okay, Kratos. I guess that shows what kind of person I am. But I wasn't overwhelmed with power or anything. There was only disappointment. After that, I started to wander the net, picking up on the stories that unfolded around me. There were a lot of them. Cultists spent most of the time trolling random people, and recruiting new members. In most cases, they forgot about their previous targets and moved on. Just like the person that invited me. They forgot about me the moment I joined them and started to close in on the next person they wanted to recruit. One day, I noticed the cultist that hadn't changed his prime target for a long time. Seemingly torturing and stalking a girl that once dated one of the cultists. I decided to see what was going on. It was rather easy. Things rarely disappear from the internet, if ever. It was the girl I met at my work, the one with purple hair. In fact, her ex refused to get the sim because he wanted to experience the Ascension for as long as he could. Okay. Got about her quickly. Hadn't even followed the story of her being hunted. Since I spoke with her near the school, things had been quite rough for her. She tried abandoning the internet, but it didn't work out. She tried withdrawing cash from several ATMs. Sometimes, just to mess with her, he actually let that happen. She tried not leaving her apartment, but it wasn't much help. He would summon cops, deliveries, anything like that. After some time though, she managed to save up a rather large sum of money. I think I need to sneeze. No, I don't think so. Right. She already had some of her own savings in cash even before this whole mess began. She started practicing walking in places where street cameras wouldn't see her. Not only street cameras, but possibly drones or satellite cameras. Anywhere there was some kind of roof or canopy. When she decided everything was ready, she started her plan. The girl went to a nearby internet cafe. They surprisingly still exist today, though mostly filled with schoolboys playing games on the local network. It's a long one. She found a cabin in the woods, up for rent in a rather remote location, and arranged a meeting about the rent. Using a fake name, obviously. Buying a used car was easy too. Getting a gun was a bit harder, but she had connections. The seller didn't care about documents or anything, he just needed the money. 2 days, she had gotten a cabin, car, and gun. She turned on her phone, left it playing music, and gathered her belongings in a sports bag. In 4 hours, she arrived at her new home. It worked. For a while. Probably guessed that since I know all this in such detail, her plan got found out. I did some extensive digging, and once he knew what to look for, he traced her easily. One morning, she woke up to a loud noise. I love the soundtrack of this game. When she opened her eyes, the noise repeated, now closer. She stood up and grabbed the gun. She always kept it near her. It wouldn't help against what was coming, but it could still come in handy. A drone crashing through the window. It was rattling around on the floor trying to fly up. She rushed to one of the inner rooms of the house, without windows, and began stuffing some cash into the pocket of her shirt. But soon she heard another sound. A roaring engine. She rushed outside, dressed only in her pajamas. Just in time, as a bulldozer demolished the entire building. He had put this house on a list of buildings to be demolished. She ran through the forest, followed by the sound of drones buzzing, toward the road where she could catch a ride back to society. That's what I said, right? Yeah. Not exactly the best outfit for it, but what choice did she have? I suppose she didn't have time to think about any other dangers. My attention span is losing it. But I did. There were only 2 other people on the server, but he was too absorbed in this game to notice anything. I learned he was sending some drivers after her, which, with histories, let's say. That's when I decided I've had enough of observing. I persuaded the other 2 cultists to leave the server under false pretenses. Then I set the timer. She was covered in bruises. Her legs were tired. The buzzing drew closer and closer. The road was still far away. She tripped on an old tree and fell. Carnage. Her whole life must have flashed before her eyes. I don't know for sure. Can't read minds. She laid there for a few seconds before turning onto her back. She drew her gun and aimed with shaking hands at the nearing drone. The girl started firing. Recoil hit way harder than she expected, but one drone was down. There were several dozen left. She fired the remaining bullets, but missed almost all of them. Luck wasn't on her side anymore, was it? She tried getting up and running, but had no energy left. She sat there watching those things get closer to her, with eyes wide open. Then, they stopped. One of them was several inches away from her. She waited. They didn't move. She sat there for about a minute. One of them fell down with its lights out. Battery mode. Oh boy. Battery must have died. Let me turn that down a bit. Oh, there we go. She got up. She stood for a moment watching the buzzing swarms of drones. Some of them had needles and sharp knives attached. Fuck it. I'm going back. She flipped off the drones and walked away, the direction of the cabin's remains.
I knew you would wait.
No, you didn't.
I guess I'm happy that you stayed for so long.
Good for you.
Don't know for sure though.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm the one who told you these stories.
Cool.
Both of them.
Both of them?
I just couldn't bring myself to communicate online.
Uh-huh.
Or even follow what's going on. So I decided to get creative. Make games, write stories, and upload them to random sites. It's the same as arguing online, after all.
Just a bunch of emotions spilled into the nothingness.
In the hopes that someone will understand and find the record of your thoughts and emotions on the garbage pile.
Ooh.
Where nothing ever disappears.
Oh. I was thinking something else.
There's no death on the internet. That's where I made a mistake.
Oh, Reddit, that with their memes.
I was still thinking in terms of a human world, not a digital one. So the guy whom I thought I killed returned. I couldn't kill even him. Yet, I thought I was mighty enough to kill a god. Everyone leaves a digital trace. Caches, messages, forum posts, histories of visits, so on and so forth. After a while, they start to gravitate towards each other.
Like molecules, producing a distorted copy of the individual.
Is this what they meant by all this immortal soul stuff? Anyways, he regained parts of his memories, told the cultist what happened, and they weren't happy.
I imagine not.
Can you really replicate a person by their data?
Probably not exactly how they were, but yeah.
Honestly, though.
Maybe they could. I don't know.
I don't even know who I was. The only thing that kinda comforts me is the thought that maybe, since now I'm the enemy for them, she'll be able to live a functional life once again. just like my wife, hopefully. There's one other thing that it's rather silly. Maybe when I become a distorted copy of myself, I'll find forgotten, useless shards of who I was, and understand something that I couldn't understand about myself before.
Just like you. One can.
Hunter won't die. Coffin clock streetlight. That's it. It's like coffin. What? Streetlight. And tick. Alright, nothing happened. Oh! Took it away from me. Did it? It closed on me. Like fully. Ah. Huh. Okay, well, I guess that was dissolving. Switch. Oops. No, that's fine, that's fine. It's the setting I'm looking for. Excuse me. Done. They're gonna load that. No? Guess it doesn't like Steam very much. No. Yeah, that's the game. That's pretty cool. It's a little short horror game. I think that's gonna do it for the first stream. It's kind of ease my way into things. Next one will be, I guess, some point this week. Don't really have a schedule or anything, so yeah, that will be it for now. Thank you all for tuning in. Yeah, thanks for watching.